3, 2. You speak some.
Hello, class. My name is Eunice Florisma, and I am going to be talking to you guys about my case study that I selected, which is iCarly actress Jennette McCurdy. She's also known as her famous role, Sam Puckett. So I can give you a brief overview of who she is. So Jennette McCurdy, former child actress known for Sam from iCarly, she is now into writing and directing and podcasting. Her memoir, her book, which she written and wrote and published, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is now the bestsellers book. Her themes right now that I can tell you that consist of the case study will be family trauma, eating disorders, and media exploitation. As we move to the next slide, I will be telling you about Jennette McCurdy case study and her childhood stardom and economic conflict. The conflict perspective in chapter 2. Conflict perspective overview. Well, it focused more on the power dynamics among dominant and marginalized population. Economic system benefits the powerful generally at the expense of other people in society. Most children in the entertainment system are, as a rule, economically exploited for the world. As you can see, one, two, three, four issues: corporation capitalism and child labor exploitation. The first one, big corporation exploit child actors, such as Nickelodeon, and some are saying Disney Channel as well. And you also have other media. Limited autonomy over monetary earnings and public image is another one. Career choices are subject to adults' financial motive is the third. Emotional trauma can also link to financial control through their work. A second issue, changing patterns in employment and underemployment. Rise in temp and part-time works, loss of union protection for workers. Child actors lack long-term employment security, which is another issue. Lack of resources for mental and emotional health. Reflex deregulate labor environment. Chapter 3, Criminal Justice System and Radical Disparities. Well, the problem minority groups experience disproportionate arrest rates, sentencing, and incarceration. Well, the effects on my character belongs to a marginalized community. They can fall victim to systematic bias, which can cause mistrust of law enforcement and restrict social mobility. Juvenile justice system challenges. Well, on the issue for that, offenders can be severely punished without proper rehabilitative facilities. Impact of my character can find it challenging to rehabilitate and access supportive services, thus increased risk of recidivism and being shut out of society. I do apologize for that error mispronunciation. Chapter 4, Media Consolidation and Political Influence. Well, one of the issues, majority of the media sources are owned by few large companies, influencing political stories and restricting diverse opinions. A second one, impact on my character. Well, my character could be presented with bias for incomplete information, influencing their perceptions of social issues and political participation. Now, let's talk about social media. The issue of social media is that algorithms on social media create echo chambers that consolidate existing beliefs, and it can maximize polarization. What it can affect with my character, that she may be isolated in the ideal to in the bubble, where reducing exposure to other perspective and maximizing polarization. Chapter 5, an issue addressing poverty, the wealth, and the gap. Well, my character, Jennette, Her wages kept her family in business, exemplifying economic dependency. Lack of assurance of child earners reflects shortcomings in U.S. welfare policy. U.S. spends fewer social welfare dollars relative to other nations. The wealth gap in context. No matter how much money she made, Jennette faced emotional poverty and instability. Shows how celebrity doesn't eliminate exposure to system injustice. Wealth inequality in America benefits the top 1% by keeping families like hers without insurance. Chapter 5, another issue, economic justice. As you can see, changes to reduce race, gender, and economic disparities. Jennette's narrative indicate exploitation of young working class individual women's case emphasis need more robust labor protection and mental health services, which is very crucial. Now, the summary of how it's related to social work is that Jennette's case is called reform and advocacy. It connects individuals' trauma to institutional issues, and we see needs for child protection, economic reforms, and mental health equity. So, chapter 6, diversity and some of the issues. I can break down that social identity theory generally categorize themselves and others by in groups and out groups, which fuel stereotypes and emotional damage. Jennette McCurdy states that as a child star, she was like typecast, limiting her personal identity by inheriting, generating external expectation. Moving forward with that, um, Jennette's experience of media and family define roles of perpetuating harmful social norms which silence her motion. As we move forward to chapter 7, social status, the two issues that I can break down with you is fixed notation of gender construction. Jennette's emotional developments and body image were very much difficult for her. Cultural notation of femininity contribute to her eating disorders, which she had an issue with as growing in her younger age. Around the world, many girls face power imbalance in leadership in their own decision making, which was one of the reasons why Jennette was going through that because she wasn't able to think for herself. She had her mom that was more on her and was on a controlling side too. Um, and another thing, Jennette's former lack of agency in her career position her in the context of wider systematic power imbalance that women and other gender minority faces. Illustrates the emotional and psychological toll of being limited by gender. Jennette's story kind of, you know, opened my eyes because it shows how much of a person, an individual that she is growing up, but having to have someone that she thought that would be there to protect her and lead her, but instead control every single thing that she does was one of the reasons why she had all of this going through, and the connection of what's going on with the case study that I've picked shows a true example how Jennette kind of braved through her situation and leading to why she created her bestsellers book that I'm glad that my mom died. This can, I wouldn't say this will be good or so, but this can be an eye opener for all individuals who have been going through the same situation as Jennette. And this concludes my case study and project. Thank you and have a wonderful day.